So we have a review here of a Amazon product. This is from CVlife. They sent this out to me, and I just want to give my thoughts on it. It's a basic chest rig, and these inexpensive chest rigs are one of those things that some people get, but I want to stress they're not duty grade. This chest rig, and I'll kind of show the reason why I don't think it's duty grade. Now, this right here, I'm approaching this review as kind of a from a standpoint of training or for use like airsoft, stuff like that. I think this rig would be great for, especially the airsoft world. I think this would be a great rig for those not looking to spend a lot of money to get into the stuff, to get into the airsoft game. This would work well, but for duty use, absolutely not. And the reason I say that is, first off, I'm going to start with, now this is just a standard chest rig here. It has a spot for, you can run air magazines right behind here, and then it has a spot for 4 pistol mags and then 2 utility pouches. So pretty standard for chest rig setup. The shoulder pads right here, the shoulder straps, there's no padding to this at all. It's extremely, it's very thin and it's very uncomfortable. It's almost kind of like cardboardy, if I want to put a word to it. It's just, it's one of those things that it's just not going to work wearing all day in the field. This is what's going to really help you with load bearing. So if you don't have good, comfortable shoulder straps to bear the load, what's going to happen is you're going to get fatigued, you're going to get neck chafing, all that good stuff that goes along with just having a poorly set up piece of kit, and you're just not going to have a good time. This right here, I think for shorter term use, if you just want to train and you want something to get you in the door, this could work. For airsoft, this could work, but as you move around on an airsoft field, they may chafe a little bit. That's one thing I noticed. There is adjustability to these, so it does adjust to your size. So that is a good thing about it. It does have good adjustability depending on whether you're tall, short, big, skinny, all that good stuff. It'll adjust to you. The mag pouches right here for the AR-15 mags with this bungee style setup, it's not too bad. It works, but I'm willing to bet over time that these bungees might fail either at the sew point or the bungees themselves might break. I've seen that with inexpensive bungees. They work, but after you use them over time, they just end up breaking. So you may have to replace that. That's just my experience with these type of vests in the past. For this grade of vest, I should say, these Amazon grade of vests. The magazine pouches here for the pistol, they seem decently made. Looks like, from what I've tested so far, they hold double stack, single stack magazines just fine, but they're not really adjustable. So keep in mind right here, they are sewn in. There are some other brands like Condor and stuff, they have an adjustable where you can move this flap up and down. So if you have taller mags or shorter mags, you can adapt it, but this one you can't. This one's pretty much set at one point. I can move my adjustment a little bit, so I can move it up right here, and that'll give me that much room, but that's about it. There's not a whole lot of adjustment. So I think that could be better, but that's not a super big deal, just depending on what type of pistol mags you use. The utility type pouches, they seem thick enough to hold a decent amount of stuff. If you want to throw medical in one of them or whatnot, or admin or whatever it is you want to throw in there, you can. If you're in the airsoft world, extra ammo, extra gas, whatever you're running, you can throw that in these. One thing to note though about the material. So the material itself just feels very thin, almost kind of paper-like. My experience with these is a lot of exposure to the elements, exposure to sun is going to wear this down. It's going to start punching holes through it pretty fast. This stuff just isn't made for super hardcore use. And you'll realize that once you hold one of these, and keep in mind, these are really inexpensive. This is not like a $100 chest rig or anything like that. This is super inexpensive. So keep that in mind. I don't think this thing is trying to compete with anything more. I don't even think it's really trying to compete with Condor or anything. Because even though Condor is pretty inexpensive, they are leagues better as far as quality goes. The stitch work on this, looking at the stitch work, It's decent, but you can see how it's just kind of unfinished. It's done fast. It's made in China. It's done fast. Kind of it is what it is. The stitching is a little bit uneven in some areas, especially on the straps. I just kind of looked around and did an inspection. I saw some discrepancies on how even the stitch work is. So if you want to get this, just really inspect it, kind of burn off the edges here, clean up your kit a little bit. Takes a little bit of user fluff and buff, I guess if you want to call it, to get this thing a little bit more squared away if you're deciding to go with something like this. But overall, the stitch work works, but it's just kind of, it's a little bit messy in some spots. And you might be able to see here on the front, what was it? If you look at some of the pistol mags, it's just a little bit uneven. The pistol mag pouches, they're a little bit uneven, and it's just not finished well as far as the stitching goes. So overall, do I recommend this? For Airsoft, sure. For Airsoft, I don't see a problem. If you want to train with it, you can. It's not a super big deal, but I do have to say, if you want something for a little bit more of field use and you're on a budget, then I would go with Condor. Condor does a good job. At least the chest rigs that I have from Condor seem to be made pretty decent for their price, and they're holding up rather well. This just isn't going to compare with them, and if you hold them side by side, then you'll see what I'm talking about if you have both of these types. So overall, it's decent, but I just got to say it is an Amazon quality product. So if you're getting this entry level, super cheap stuff, don't hold it to too high of a standard. Just know what you're getting into, and as long as you're realistic about it, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.